All right, everyone, he managed to do it yet again. Another Biden gaffe that's amusing enough and important enough to actually make a video about. Again, if I were to cover all of his gaffes, it would literally be the Biden channel. I'd have at least one video a day or thereabouts at this point for every stumble, verbal and physical, and all of the other weird shit that comes out of his mouth. This one, though, is a bit of a doozy. Link in the description, you can watch it. It's a clip from Donald J. Trump Jr., so it's not archived because it's a video link. Stealin pumpkins is apparently what Joe Biden thinks of when he's talking to the little black child. So he's got a group of kids here, and he's talking to them. And he's addressing specifically a little black kid that's in the group. They very carefully hand select the kids that the president meets with so that it's like a bowl of Skittles appearance to make him look more diverse. And he leans into the black kid and he's like, hey, you can do whatever you want. And he's being, schmoozy and creepy anyway. You can do whatever you want. Hey, kid, you can steal a pumpkin if you want to. And you can see that the kid is uncomfortable. You can see that the other kids are like, what? But they don't say anything because, they're talking to the fucking president. Yeah, you've got a good thing going. You get a free White House meal and all sorts of gifts and goodies from it. So just shut the fuck up and deal with Crazy Joe, I suppose. Imagine you have to sit next to him at the big White House Christmas table. All the weird shit that would come out of his mouth. It's sort of like, everyone's got that crazy relative and they're just not all there. And they just ramble and say weird things, and everyone wants to talk to them, actually, because they might go off and starts talking about tinfoil hats and aliens or something. I probably am that crazy relative, by the way, at this point in my own particular familial circles. Anyway, Joe does this constantly, and he gets away with it. Can you imagine if Donald Trump, I know it's rhetorical, you know the answer, I know the answer. What would the legacy media's reaction be if Donald Trump were to tweet right now about, a little black child and say, oh, well, I thought he was going to steal the watermelon off the table or something? It would be conceived of, and they wouldn't even be wrong, it'd be a legit criticism, it'd be conceived of as bigoted. Joe Biden says it. They're so used to it, they don't even fucking publish a single story. It's not mentioned literally anywhere else. Really, the Twitter sphere at this point is the only go-to place for Biden gaffes, unless it's so major that they have to cover his ass for him. Oh, well, yeah, everyone trips up the stairs to Air Force One once in a while. It happens all the time. There's a breeze out there. He's 80, not quite as coordinated. It has nothing to do with just basic elderliness plus a light breeze. Could happen to anyone. 3 or 4 fucking times already in the last year or so. I remember the doppelganger of this. Well, that one isn't even bigoted, but we'll look at the legacy media's differential treatment. Do you remember Cinco de Mayo there? When Trump was running for the presidency in 2016, and he had the Trump Tower taco bowl? He's like, oh, we got the best taco bowls. Haha, happy Cinco de Mayo. And people were like, well, this is obviously, it's racist against Hispanic people. Now, he's literally just showing you a food that's made at Trump Tower. And by the way, I had a crispy shell, so I would not eat the taco bowl because I've eaten authentic tacos and actually know how to make them as well. And if it has the crispy shell, it's not a taco, number one. It's also a piece of shit, number two. Sorry, Donald, but I wouldn't be trying the taco bowl. Maybe the guacamole's better than Jeb Bush's, though. That's probable. Not to say that's not also easy. When I look at this, though, all I see is an old man having an Alzheimer's moment and saying something that back in the 40s or 50s would have been conceived of as, if not something to applaud as a form of humor, at least it would have fit in and been tolerable. And so he's having an old man moment. Yeah, this goes beyond gaffe. This was a mental moment for Joe Biden. He does not conceive of what he's saying as being potentially bigoted. But it is. You're insinuating that the black kid is going to steal a pumpkin off the table or something like that. It's sort of like a Huck Finn sort of throwback, like a Tom Sawyer thing, talking about, the black people in a stereotypical manner. It's basically like that. He read too much Mark Twain as a kid, and now he has these various views. And I'm thinking, at what point is he going to go, cuckoo to the point where he starts using more racial language? Like, instead of making an insinuation, hey, what I say could be construed as racist if you don't assume that it's a dementia moment, which I do actually, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. When does he start using breakdown into Ebonic speech or something like that? When does he start referencing crime statistics of one sort or another? When does he put on a literal goddamn Klan robe, like he's probably worn before quite literally, and start parading around half naked on the White House lawn? Because dementia will make you do crazy shit because you no longer have a filter. We are already seeing it come off with moments like this. Even 2 or 3 years ago, generally speaking, Biden was more coherent than he is today. Corn Pop and Roach's story aside, with regards to most of his speaking, it was kind of there, a little bit coherent. Now he's going off on little black kids. Again, can you imagine if it were a Republican politician who said this? Not just Donald Trump, although TDS is real. Can you imagine if Mike Pence said this? Hell, if Liz Cheney came out and said something like this, they would crucify her. Well, we told you that she's not the woke patriot. She's just a useful idiot. She stands against Trump, and we give her credit for that. But everything else she does is terrible trash, and she's a horrendous racist, obviously, because she's talking down to the little black child at the, I guess, Halloween or Thanksgiving table or something. And how funny that is. But Biden, they won't report on it. You know that there would be front page goddamn reporting on CNN right now if this were Trump. It would be at least a page B if it were anyone else within the GOP. Hell, even some Democrats wouldn't get away with it. Can you imagine? Manchin, he would get dragged. Remember the time that he called AOC girl? And of course, you know, she's half his fucking age, so it's a colloquial usage. It's not even really an insult, although I do believe it was pointed. And AOC spurred out about it. Oh, he shouldn't be kind of me. I'm a fellow congressperson, and he needs to get back into his place, basically. This withered old man, this fucking stupid neoliberal, she got all entitled about it, all salty. They covered that. Well, it's just a minor spat, a tweet between two politicians, not even executive level. And it was front page news for an entire day. There were a million stories about that one. The so-called president of the United States is insinuating that little black kids want to steal his food. Yeah, there's nothing strange about that whatsoever. It's totally not newsworthy. That's about all. Peace out.